Hello dog lover, my name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. In this video, I want to talk about an issue or a topic that I think it will be interesting to talk about it in general, but there is a dog training show that is upcoming on Netflix, which many people, over 30,000 so people have signed a petition to ask to cancel this show before even it airs. So what is this show that many people are not liking it or are hoping that this show will be canceled? I don't know about this show much. I don't know about this trainer itself, but this is the show that we're talking about.
My name is Jocelyn Red, professional canine trainer. My dog training system is known all over the world. Good boy! I help the dogs that no one else will.
She can be the most loving dog, but at the same time the most violent animal.
It's time, bro. We don't fix this, this dog is not going to have a long future.
So that's the show that we are talking about. Canine intervention that is coming up to Netflix. Again, as I said, I don't know this trainer. I don't know his methods very well. I've done a little bit of research. He does use some aversive tools, which are, that's the point that I want to talk about in this video. Now, why is it that people are trying to get this show canceled? Because they're not liking the method that is being used to work with dogs and train the dogs. And they're calling cancel Netflix soon release show Canine Intervention due to inhumane animal training. And they're saying we do not need another Caesar. They don't want another aversive method of dog training popularized on TV shows in a form of show that actually does more harm than good. So let's talk about this. So this is the topic of the day, creating shows about dog training and how to change a dog's behavior, especially those dogs who have extreme behavioral issues. My problem with these shows are that they make it as an entertainment where there is no entertainment when you are dealing with a dog who has behavioral issues. When it comes to extreme levels of behavioral issues that people are so desperate that they need help, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in details, how to help these people properly. When they go to these kind of dog trainers who use aversive tools and aversive methods of dog training, and they see that the dog is doing better, not great, but better, they start feeling good about it, and they start, popularizing this dog trainer, and this dog trainer has a show now, like Cesar Millan had a show as well. And the problem with these kinds of shows is that they make it look like it's very easy to change a dog's behavior within an hour of show, where it takes months, maybe even years, to help a dog to change a behavior. Now, you can fast forward it if you do it properly, but most behavioral issues, extreme behavioral issues, they don't change that fast. It takes time. Actually, if you ask many dog trainers, how is it when you're training a dog? They would say it's the most boring process of the dog training itself.
Avoidance training, conditioning, it works so fast and it's really reinforcing to the humans.
Exactly.
Plus, a lot of humans like to watch that. They enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's more entertaining and you can't compete with that. If I would have to show people what I do with dogs, sessions can be really boring.
Oh, yes.
Really boring.
Yeah, there's nothing much happening.
No, nothing is happening, and I'm like really excited that the dog is just sniffing and seeing the trigger and sniffing, and I'm like, yay, this is so good. people want to see active. They want to see
action.
They want to see action. So
exactly. You can't even film it. You can't make a show. It's like watching a paint dry on the wall, right? Because all you're doing, you're just waiting. You're teaching the dog. You're training the dog in very slow motion speed, and each step that you're taking takes weeks. That's the reality. And you can ask any dog trainer. You can't really film. That's why I don't do it either. You can't really film a dog training process because it's not exciting. You're teaching the dog to stay, and all you're doing now, you're standing there for 5-10 minutes practicing stay, and nothing is happening. You're just standing there, standing and waiting for the 10 minutes to pass by so your dog can learn stay. Nothing happens. Nothing exciting happens. You're just standing and staying there with the dog, hoping to get dog to learn, for example, the stay command. So the same thing applies when it comes to extreme behaviors. Nothing really extreme happens during the training. So shows like this, they make people to think that training a dog is like this, and all you have to do is this and that, boom, done. But the reality is that's not how it's done, right? So that's one problem that I have when it comes to shows like this. The other part of the problem that I have is the method that is being used. If a dog trainer feels comfortable to use aversive tools or aversive methods, that itself is a problem. If a dog trainer, and especially if a dog owner, feels comfortable using those tools, it's a problem. Now, you're going to say there are, just like the advertisement in that show says, the dog can be sweet as honey in one moment and then can be a devil and extreme aggression next, can turn around. There's a reason why that happens, right? Dogs or even people don't go from 0 to 100 for no reason. There are many reasons that causes them to go there, which I'm going to explain briefly in this video, why that happens. But using aversive tools in those cases especially, and you feel comfortable using it and you see some results, then from the point of view of the user of those aversive tools and aversive methods, you feel good that those tools made you feel good because you're seeing results. So you feel good, therefore you're going to be using those tools. Now, aversive tools and aversive methods, it's not that they're not effective. They are effective only when you're using the method or the tool. Other than that, the behavior is still there. Like many dog trainers, especially dog trainers who are very popular on internet and maybe they have TV shows as well, they say the same thing. The behavior is gone only when the tool is used. And that gives the dog owner or the dog trainer a break from the behavior, so they can say, you see, here we go. The dog is behaving properly now, but as soon as you remove the aversive tools or aversive method out of the picture, the behavior is still there. So my problem with using aversive tools or aversive methods is that we're not dealing with the core issue of the problem, which I'm going to explain what the core issue of the problem is. But the core issue of the problem, if it's not solved, you are just solving the issue with a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid solution. And many dog owners, they feel good about using these tools and methods because they see results, and those results makes them be more hopeful that their dog is going to change, but the behavior or the damage is still there. Now, by using aversive tools and method, beside that you are posing aversive physical and mental pressure to the dog, you're causing them to disconnect from you and feel pain or fear or whatever that tool causes that dog to feel. And as a human being, as a humane method of training a dog, I don't think it's the right method of using those tools or those methods. We're not going to get great results. We get some results, but we don't get great results. Now, when you're using tools or methods that are aversive, it is as, let's say, whether you are in a party, let's give an example like this. You're in a party, the music is going, you're having a good time, or you're at the war and there's a war going on and the bullets are flying all over and bombing is going on and killing is happening everywhere. In those two scenarios, those could be the scenarios that a dog is feeling in that moment, good or bad, right? They're feeling extremely excited or extremely fearful. Those are the reasons why the dog is behaving that way, right? They're either in a party or at the war. It's a war zone, right? Now imagine in those moments, I start explaining to you about what depression is and how to deal with depression. Imagine you're in a party and you're having a good time, and I come and start explaining to you about depression. Or you're at the war and you're dealing with matter of life and death, and I come and talk to you and explain to you about depression. That's what happens. Dogs are in those zones, whether positive, excited, or negative, fearful, and reactive. And you are trying to teach them to behave certain way or stop that behavior or not to do that behavior. They're so into that moment that whatever you explain or whatever you do, it won't work. Especially if I now use tools to explain the problem. Party games or something like that to explain to you about depression, or at the war, I start using certain tools to even make you feel certain emotions, like pain or things like that, discomfort. Would you be willing to learn about how to deal with depression? I don't think so. So when we are using tools at the wrong time, at the wrong state of mind, not only we are causing physical pain, behavioral problem, we're causing a lot of damage in the dog's state of mind internally, because we're not dealing with the core issue. I'm going to get to what is the core issue. Now, when we are using tools, for example, when we are using shock collars, right, to train the dog or stop the dog from doing certain behaviors, we're adding additional electrical currents in the body of the dog where it doesn't belong to. It doesn't need to be. Just think of it that way. You're adding additional electrical currents in your dog's body where it shouldn't be. There is certain electrical currency in our body, in our dog's body, that is normal and balanced. When you're using shock collars, you're adding additional current in your dog's body, which will cause some form of either health issues or deeper core issues in your dog. So think of it that way. When you're using choke chain collars, when you're using prong collars, there must be some form of damage done to the body in some form, whether it's physical or emotional or mental, there is a damage that causes that the dog responds to that. Therefore, the behavior maybe changes or stops or pauses for a minute or two or a little while, but the problem is still there. That is the main problem of using aversive tools or aversive methods. Now, what is the core issue of all these problems? That we need to be starting to use tools and desperately use gadgets to deal with issues. The core problem of all these behaviors is stress. Stress is number one killer of humans and nowadays animals. Stress is causing all these dogs to behave certain way, and those certain ways are just signals or messages to you as a human, as a dog owner, to hear that there is something causing my dog to get stressed and I need to deal with it. Now, what are some examples that can cause your dog to become stressed to the point that they are behaving a certain way? There are, as I always say in my videos, it could be because you're not providing your dogs proper amount of daily 5 essential needs, which are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. You need to provide these 5 things for your dog so your dogs can be behaving properly, right? If you have a dog who's not behaving properly, is a signal to you that I am not providing my dog's daily 5 essential needs, and I have to go back and realize that and learn what those are and provide them properly for my dog. That's the core problem. Once you solve that, once you figure that out, I guarantee you, you're not going to even need to think about using anything else. We always forget the easiest solution. The easiest solution is us, because we don't step back and take a look around and pause for a second and say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing that is causing these issues in my dogs? We are always the problem and we are always the solution as well. So you, as a dog owner, you have to step back and figure out what is it that is causing you or not helping you to provide your dog's daily 5 essential needs. And I would say most of the time is because we are too busy with our own lives that we forget that our dogs need us the same or more amount of time as our family members or ourselves. We forget that they are dogs and they have needs and we need to provide those needs. And if we don't provide those needs for them, they will cry for help. Dogs cannot explain their problems with the same way the humans explain to us, right? If you have a partner or kid or family member, if they have a problem, they may come to you and say, you know what, I have a problem and I need help, right? I hope people were open more like that, right? People can open up and share their problems and say it, and hopefully we listen and we deal with it. Unfortunately, dogs, they don't have that option. They can't express themselves like humans do. They can't tell you what the problems are. So instead, they show their and express their emotions with behaviors. You know, digging, chewing, growling, barking, being aggressive to other dogs, wanting to hurt another living being to that point. That is a dog who's extremely stressed. But you will say, for example, just like the example in the TV promo that they did, which the dog was angel at home, but it turns into devil next when it sees another dog or something. The dog is telling you, this is what I like, and I need more of this, and I need you to provide more of this, and provide my daily 5 essential needs. And if the dog sees another dog, says, this is how I'm going to explain to my dog owners that I need help. You're not providing everything. I need more of this, but you're not providing it. So how do I express myself? This is how I'm going to express myself. This is how I'm going to explain to the humans. Hopefully they will get the point. Hopefully they will understand what my problems are. And unfortunately, dogs in this day and age have a lot of problems, just like humans. Because everything has changed. Life has changed. Life in 2021 is completely different than 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Imagine dogs were bred since 300, 500, 600 years ago for the same purpose as today. Yet, we have different lifestyle, different problems, and we carry these dogs with us on the same path and expecting them to behave properly and normal. Yet, we're not doing the part that we need to do. We need to be more human. We need to be more humane when we are thinking about dogs, when we are dealing with dogs. So there is a petition that you can go ahead and sign and get involved with it if you want. You can go to change.org and find out. I'm going to leave the links in the description below. You can learn more about this and the show that is upcoming, and share your opinion as well. Let me know, what do you think? Is it okay to use aversive tools, aversive methods to train dogs? Is it okay to show them on or make them as an entertainment on the shows like this and hope that people are going to learn? Now, I'm going to do a different video about Caesar Milan itself in one of my upcoming videos. But I want you to know that I don't have any personal feelings about this dog trainer and also Caesar Milan. I think Caesar Milan is a great man. It's just that he didn't know what he was doing properly, and I think he learned and he changed, and hopefully we can all change. Hope you learned something from this video. Share your feedback, share your comments, share your emotions, share your feelings about this topic, and let's talk about it. The more we talk about this, the better it gets. So I hope to see you next time, and until next time, have fun with your dog.